Blueberries. Hey guys, Greg here, Bone Tactical, and today we're going to be discussing food, and we're doing one chapter each in my book on survival, and today is the newest episode. There's been a bunch of episodes before this. Check them out if you haven't already. I'll get into all of everything you need to know about food as it pertains to survival and bug out situations. But first, I think my number one topic, I guess, or the number one point in my mind or in my opinion when it comes to this is the ability to forage. So definitely doing a little bit of education on your area of operation, educating yourself, gaining some knowledge on what types of food are edible and what types of food are not edible. And then there's a test that I'll share with you here in a second, but this right in front of me is locally known down here in the jungle as huniapa, and I'm going to cut off a big piece for myself, and I'll probably end up wasting some of it for the purposes of this video. If I was actually really surviving, I would eat more of a larger chunk. I would eat the smaller stuff instead of just this larger chunk, but it's got kind of a, you really just have to get the husk off of it if there's any contaminants or anything like that. And then it has kind of the taste. I would consider it to be the closest to licorice, actually. It's got almost like a licorice taste. It's very good fried with whatever local rice, beans, eggs. Just throw it in the frying pan and it's pretty great stuff. But I would say definitely a very strong licorice taste. And otherwise, not a very strong licorice taste. I guess a hint of a licorice taste, but otherwise a lot like maybe celery, but it just feels more filling than celery. I guess it's got the consistency of celery, but a better taste. So I'm gonna go through here and go through my pack a little bit and talk about what kind of stuff we've got in the pack, and I'm also going to discuss kind of my further recommendations for food. So let me pull this pack off. Oh, and so there is a test that I want to share with you guys first. And the test, when you're kind of trekking through the wilderness, and the reason that you want to share the reason that you want to gain the knowledge to be able to do this is it's so important to be able to conserve calories in a survival situation. So if you're having to move from point A to point B, the ability to grab something on the go, chop it, and as you're moving, kind of clean it up and then eat it on the run is just golden. It's absolutely golden. So that's kind of the reason that I want to be able to have this ability to identify stuff on the move. You know, see a fruit tree, to be able to see, you know, that plant has a potato, you know, it's got a root that I can eat, or, you know, these are berries that are edible. So that knowledge of your area of operation, where you're at and what it has, is something you want to make sure that you're aware of. You want to make sure that you educate yourself of. If you're going to be doing some traveling, then educate yourself on the area that you're going to. Study up in your free time and practice this stuff. So we'll share with you what I carry personally. I also sell these kits on my website. As I told you, I've written a book. One of the chapters in this book that I've written on survival is food. Okay, so here's the book, survival guide. We got as far as the videos go on here on the YouTube channel, video 1 is survival basics, video 2 is video 2 is water, video 3 is fire, video 4 is the rule of threes, video 5 is security, video 6 is shelter, and this is video 7, which is food. So video 7, this being video 7, food, we are talking the principles of food. Let me get this kind of put away here and stored away out in the wilderness, trying not to mess up the copy of the book that I have. But another big recommendation that I have is these MRE bars, right? Because this takes knowledge, training, preparation, know-how. And the test is, if you think, but you're not sure, that you see something that's edible, you get a little bit of it, you rub it on your skin, you get the sap and you rub it on your skin, right? Well, first you touch the leaf, wait a little while. Then if it's got some sap or something like that, you peel it, cut some off, rub it on your skin, wait an hour or two. Okay. Then take a little bit like you just did and rub it on your skin. Instead of rubbing it on your skin, rub it on your lips. Wait till the next day. If the next day then you don't have any kind of a reaction to it, you can probably eat some. So eat a little bit, wait till the next day. And then, because you've got issues like diarrhea and stuff like that, even drinking too much coconut water, which is like the best thing. You can find coconut palms all through where I'm at right now. But if you drink only coconut water, you can give yourself diarrhea, constipation, depending. It can affect everybody differently, but it's not a good idea to only or overconsume anything. Anything in life is in moderation is okay, but you can even die from drinking too much water, right? So anything in moderation. But these high energy bars are pretty awesome. This is kind of what I recommend, because if you don't have that knowledge, or if you don't have the time to wait around on all that stuff, you might be on the move, right? You might be on the move, you might be running away from somebody. But you might not be running away from somebody. You might be leaving a natural disaster. You might be getting away from nuclear radiation. Who the heck knows? But you want to be able to cover ground quickly. That's kind of the gist of a survival or a bug out situation. You want to be able to cover ground quickly. And if you have to hunt for food, then you can make traps, you can find game trails, but you do that at your end game. You do that where you get where you're going. You set up the traps, you hunt, you grow crops, right? But the gathering part is kind of what you need to learn. But before all that, something that you can carry with you, and my biggest tip, something you can carry with you that never ruins, really. It's got like a 40-year shelf life, but it never actually really ruins, is these MRE bars that I found in German special operations are using them. And that's how I figured them out when I was over there in Germany, doing some work over there, and then ended up actually, a lot of you guys know my story. I was in a black site prison over there and whatnot. Ended up coming out to be, blessing in disguise at the end, because learned a lot of stuff and survived and to tell the tale, right? Because a lot of guys that have been through similar situations never really get the chance to tell their story. So I'm lucky that I was able to survive all that. And now I'm kind of sharing those tips with you guys. And it is, really important to stay, healthy and to eat what you need to eat to be able to get those calories into your body, and to be taking in enough calories to where you're not feeling calorie depleted, and you can, be aware of your surroundings, everything like that. So this is kind of my recommendation, along with gaining the knowledge and practicing this kind of stuff. When you go out to practice, definitely take some of these with you, because if you're not as good as you think you are, these are going to save your life. I sell them separately on my website. They come in my survival kits, all my survival kits that I test out myself, and I'm always looking for the best and testing the best stuff out here, doing all this. We're out here way in the middle of nowhere in Central America right now, doing the dang thing, but setting traps, hunting, learning the movements of game, learning how to fish, cast nets, setting traps for fish, which is like, setting a line with either a trot line or a line that has like a flag that waves, or a line in the river that has a spring snare type thing with a sapling. You can do the same thing with snares in the woods. You can do the same thing with a fishing line. When a fish gets on there, it sets the hook, right? And you can see that the trap is sprung either with fish, or you can set snares. Everything kind of goes hand in hand in this bag too, and all of the stuff that we're covering. So there's a big roll of paracord in here. And another little trick for you guys is, when you're setting traps, don't use all of this paracord unless you're setting a trap for like an animal that's, several hundred pounds, a couple hundred pounds. If you're not, there's seven smaller strands of cord inside of this cord, so you can just very easily cut it. I've burnt the ends here so it doesn't come apart, because it comes apart very easily. But if you don't want it to come apart, you just cut it and you just pull those strands out. And you can use those small strands for setting traps for anything from birds to squirrels. A little trick I like to use is squirrels. If you're in an area where there's squirrels, they run up a tree in a circle. So you can run a pole up a tree with snares running all the way up it. And as they're running around in a circle, they'll snare themselves. You can do a figure 4 deadfall trap. Look that up. I highly recommend figure 4 deadfall trap. If you have the time to set heavy traps. Otherwise, I recommend setting snares and spring snares with saplings as a spring, stuff like that. Definitely look into that. Study, get out and practice. The best way to do that is to buy 2 of these bags at minimum. 2 of these kits, okay? Not just the bag. I sell the kit with everything you need to survive. And then if you buy 2 of them, what you can do is you can go out and do something similar to what I do, practice your skills. I'm actually testing and trying to develop the best, see what's the best, and being, staying ahead of the game, ahead of everyone else, and being able to say that I can sell the most complete and the most effective survival bug out system in the world. And I can say that because I'm out here doing it, right? And I've lived it, I have the experience, and I continually test this stuff to make sure that it's always the best. I recommend that you do the same so that you can be the best at, surviving, and that you can be in your own niche your best, and that you can have what it takes to survive and do what needs to be done, right? So in this particular instance, if I wanted to keep my bag dry, for example, because it's starting to rain, just randomly didn't look like rain. You guys saw the sky at the beginning of this video. We're here we're in the rainforest, right? I have this waterproof rain cover. So I definitely want to keep my book dry. As I pack up here and move back to my shelter, which, make sure you've checked out the shelter episode. I'll put my waterproof backpack cover on my backpack. All this stuff comes with the kit, by the way. Just a real quick, easy chance to show you guys how prepared this bag is. If I do have anything inside I don't want getting wet, it's not only camouflage now, but it's waterproof now, and it's even resistant for FLIR and thermal imaging, okay? This material that we've put on there. So really just game-changing type stuff here, guys. I'm going to finish my biscuit, but I really do appreciate you guys watching. Questions and comments below. Make sure you're liked, subscribed, and clicking that bell so you can get my notifications going forward. Bone out.